All right, tonight we kick off our live FFPC main events. We got the stat chasing boys joining us, Sacrilegious and Drico out. We are going to be battling against some of our fellow influencers. We, of course, have the Davis and Liam and Kyle crew. We got the Go Bills crew in the one hole. It's going to be a fun night here on Ship Chasing. Let's do it.
Pat Fryer Helmo.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Handjob.
Fix your sight.
Jamar. Alpha play chase.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
It looks like we're finally Piss Boys. You're right.
All right. We got the crew here in typical ship chasing fashion. There can't be much pageantry. This clock is underway. We got Drico.
We talked about starting early and maybe getting on a little early to talk about our pick a little bit. I just do it.
The one thing we're going to have going for us is, so we heard Liam and Davis are all drafting and recording from the 2-hole. So we know that they're going to bleed every clock down as they bicker through their picks. So we do know we have that.
What do we want here? We're on the
Are we doing the Kelsey thing or are we doing something else? Drico?
What do you guys want?
I thought CMC going into it.
Yeah.
I'm open to that.
I was thinking Cup going in. What do you got, Sacrilegious?
What do you got, Sacrilegious?
I would usually do Kelsey here. It is tight end premium in case you forget.
Oh, I did forget. I'm good with CMC or Kelsey.
I'm good with Kelsey. I'll vote Kelsey with Sacrilegious. I don't know. Do you guys all want CMC?
No, not really. I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest.
I have a slight lean to CMC, but I'm okay with Kelsey.
I would be fine with CMC too. I don't have a strong lean.
Well, Sacrilegious, we need you to stay put, okay?
Yeah,
we need you to. Yeah, we're trying to figure this out. We got 10 seconds. Someone pound the table.
Let's go, Kelsey.
Let's go, Kelsey. ADP. He's been going 102, right?
103. I think he's been going 102 or 103 in most drafts.
I think sometimes he goes ahead of Chase. We've definitely seen that so far. I don't know if that's the ADP rank, but certainly I think it's like a top 3 tier right now when you look at it from the market perspective.
Yeah. My guess is Davis was pounding the table for Kelsey, and then Liam, I think, has Jamar Chase's as 101 over Jefferson. So that was there.
Did you see the screenshot they posted like an hour ago?
No.
So it was like Davis. He said, "I'm glad we found a way to argue that this pick that's been set in stone for like."
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So Kelsey does have a higher ADP than Chase so far in mains, 2.8 to 3.0. So, little nugget.
There was no way Chase was getting past Liam there. That just wasn't happening.
No. So you guys have heard us mention this probably in passing in the Discord, in some tweets and stuff, but Drico and Sacrilegious are going to be the hosts of Stat Chasing this year. That'll be an early week show in season. We'll have the charts, all kinds of good stuff, and excited to have you guys on the channel. And hopefully we draft a good team that you can also check in on the show, and it's not something you kind of have to sweep under the rug after 4 weeks.
Yeah. Do you remember we were the featured team? We were the first team that was featured during the season because it was after the big Monday night when Jalen Hurts had the big game. Stephon Diggs had 2 long touchdowns. We had the huge comeback. And then it was just fell
off.
Davis changed his team name to Dirty Davis.
No, that's Liam. Liam has controls of the team name.
Liam has control. Okay.
Yeah. My goodness. So we see CMC.
Dirty Davis and Du Bois.
Yeah. I think Davis has too much self-awareness to name that himself. Dirty Davis and Du Bois.
Yeah, because that wasn't even what you said, right? Didn't you say Davis and the Dirty Boys?
Yeah, who knows? Drico, you've been doing a ton of the FFPC best ball stuff. Are there any kind of like key shifts that you're
get us back in the
through?
FFPC mindset? Yeah. We've been straying.
Well, I've been doing a lot of the super flex. I guess big thing I noticed that like players like Traylon Burks do tend to fall more on this type of format. Like I think that the idea of Nuke coming in and ruining his target share, that seems to take more of a mind share than Underdog, which is I guess a bit more numb to stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What was your thoughts on McCaffrey over Kelsey? Now that we actually have some time to think through the pick that they already made.
Well, Kelsey's kind of old, and like I hate
so's McCaffrey in running back years.
What's that?
I said so's McCaffrey in running back years.
Yeah, but he's a lot more of a pass catcher, which kind of helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Kelsey's a weird one. I didn't know if you had a big take against him, but I mean, it is sort of as simple as like it can very easily be this year. He's going to turn 34 in October. Like I don't know how much longer we can bet on this guy to keep doing this, but
the way I played it last year was like I think people were too much against him because of the age, and I'm like, okay, like that's something I can bet on. Whereas this year, it's like it's almost ignored. And it's like, okay, well, if there's this risk that's just being ignored, that just makes me feel a little bit uneasy. But, he's sort of a freak tight end. Like, he could easily just, like, what's that?
Sort of a freak tight end.
he's very much a freak tight end.
He's not like...
What's the guy have to do?
Sacrilegious. What
was
were
a
you
little
kind of
selfish.
wrestling with?
Yeah, I was selfish with my Kelsey selection there because my whole portfolio is pretty underweight Kelsey. I have a little bit of that.
Glad we were able to help balance you out, Sacrilegious.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, let's take some Kelsey positives though. Last year,
any other guys you're underweight on, Sacrilegious?
Last year was the highest targets per route run of his career without Tyreek Hill there. And he kind of has a similar wide receiver situation again brewing, where like we don't know who's going to be the guy. Like if he's healthy, he's just going to rack up all the same number of targets again, right? Like why wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Like if there's no age related thing, like you completely expect the rinse and repeat. And that's why he's
25. I think he'd be like the 101, maybe the 102. I don't know.
But I completely look how the market is treating Darren Waller, right? They're saying there's this guy, we don't want to deal with any of the wide receivers, and we are now aggressively drafting Darren Waller, who went in the 3rd round of one of our other slow main event drafts. Obviously, this isn't that's not the 1st round, but still, like Darren Waller's 30, and people are chasing him up draft boards. I'm fine taking Travis Kelce.
And he's had more of an injury. Like Kelsey's been healthy enough for like 5 straight years. When I was doing the offseason stealing signals, he's averaged like 290 PPR points, not even tight end premium. And like there's not even that's his average over the last 5 seasons. There's like maybe 2 other tight end seasons I was going through it where any other tight ends hit that number even in one season. Mark Andrews did it once. I think Waller was close. But like there hasn't been any other tight ends been able to do what he's done over a 5-year average, which is just it's crazy.
That's crazy.
And like you're saying, the absence of any like soft tissue injuries as well, that does help.
Yeah. Davis, aren't you supposed to be recording a podcast right now, not grinding our chat?
I love that.
The 11-hole Mark Andrews.
I love that like someone's talking to Davis right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like right now Davis is zoned out while he's like, oh yeah, 11-hole, look at this guy. Someone's like, you know what I mean, Davis? And he's like, yeah, I know.
Liam is talking to him right now.
Yeah, Liam's going on and on about Alberta last year.
I would be in our stream chat too if Liam was talking to me right now. All right, so let's talk through here at the 210. We see after the Henry, AJ Brown, Jalen Waddle. Quite a slide there for AJ Brown. Jalen Waddle, Garrett Wilson, Nick Chubb, Barkley, come on, Pollard, and now we are on deck here. Best available in the ADP applet, as I see it here within FFPC. You got Patrick Mahomes, Chris Olave, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts.
We're next, right?
Yeah.
We're next after this Christian McCaffrey drafter. Yep.
So it would be Olave for me, but I will float. I mean, there's a 0% chance that they don't take Josh Allen. So we know Josh Allen's going to the 2-hole.
Right.
So
That's
if
one
we
of those
were to
picks.
go Smith and hope to get Hurts coming back, we're like
Or
we're
Mahomes.
only
You
fading
mean?
the
Well,
one
we have
hole.
Kelsey. We could take Mahomes.
You mean Mahomes?
Oh, that's
Pat?
true. That's true.
We'd
But
have
we could-
2 outs at it. Is
We
what
could
you're
have 2
saying.
outs at it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys
I
have any
like-
thoughts on that? Are you open to elite quarterback in the 3rd?
I'd be open to it. I should probably
Feels
let them
a
talk.
little-
I'd be open to it, but I think it would be Mahomes, and I like the Olave over Smith play from like a tier break. Oh, Smith goes.
Oh, there
Right.
goes. Okay.
So I
just
think
think
we
we should
do
take
Olave here, and
I think it
we
is
can
Olave.
entertain Mahomes if he comes back. Should we lock in Olave?
Yeah, I'm Olave
That sounds
100%
good.
here.
All right, easy click. Chris
Yeah,
Olave.
I
come on
mean,
down.
my worry is spending 2 of these three round picks on non-wide receiver, non-running back, like
Mhm.
that does hamstring us a little bit.
Yeah,
That's true.
Going elite QB and elite tight end is tough. I get that, but and I was gonna say, but you're stacking them. The other thing is, Fantasy Mojo released some early data like a few days back, but he was noting that the Mahomes and Kelsey drafters, it's been stacked in something like it's that biggest stack so far. I
Yeah.
think it's something
It's
like 45% or
That
something.
doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
right.
I don't necessarily want to play into that either.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of try to get an elite player at a different position that not every Kelsey drafter has, right? And then try to
But
replicate
what
Mahomes.
percentage of those stacks are done with the first 2 picks versus sneaking in the extra second round pick?
Jalen Hurts. Oh, Josh Allen.
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh,
Wow.
baby. There's going to be a victory lap if Allen goes off.
Davis, spill the tea in the chat.
Oh
That was-
my god!
Yeah.
Liam's-
All right, we're taking
Liam's
fucking
tied
Josh
up
Allen.
Right now. No!
I that was an epic moment. What just happened?
Crazy.
So all
Look
that
at-
stuff I said about elite quarterback early, throw it out the window. We're taking Josh Allen.
I can't believe it's one thing to take him, but to take him at the 211 when Allen's still on the board, I literally am shocked.
Yeah.
I am too, and you got go Bills. I would have pegged them to go Allen if anything.
Hope nailing it right now.
Yeah.
We will take Allen. Double elite quarterback. Super unique.
Liam saw the Fantasy Mojo data, and there's no Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen team so far in the main event.
Michael Zimmerman pointing out that this blocks Davis from Mahomes too. So what, they just stare each other.
Sabotaged each other. It's mutually assured
Did
destruction.
Kyle just do this? I think it was Kyle.
Kyle must have.
Kyle
Wow.
went rogue. He went Leroy Jenkins on him and then clicked Jalen Hurts.
So real quick, let's just talk this through, because if we are going a wide receiver, I mean, this is a pretty big tier break here. We see T. Higgins and Jonathan Taylor both come off the board.
I feel pretty
Taylor
strongly
was
we
the
should
one
go
that-
Mahomes if we have
Yeah.
the chance. And is it a common stack? Okay, but I think we're still weird for FFPC. I think we still are. I know the rooms are changing a little bit, but we're going to be a more unique version of it.
What do you guys, Draco, Sacrilegious?
Yeah,
what
no,
do you
that
think
makes
about
sense.
that?
Yeah, I'm
I mean-
game with Mahomes here. I think that Mahomes in the 3rd is totally fine here.
I felt like Taylor might have been an excuse to really, try to do
Right.
something
I
explosive,
like him for
and,
Taylor.
and maybe Higgins too. But with those guys off, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
All right, I agree. Let's do Mahomes. Do you guys think? Because I was just trying to think through the correlation stuff. Obviously, Mahomes, Kelsey, but if we get Travis Kelsey doing what we did last year, right, which is what we need at this draft cost, Mahomes is having another monster year, right?
Yeah,
those
sure.
things. If Kelsey sucks, I mean, as good as Mahomes is, he's probably not paying off this tag if Kelsey sucks.
Yeah, it's such an easy
I
stack,
agree.
especially if we get it in the 3rd.
The other, so I've been looking into quarterback stuff. The other thing, there have been years, I think it was 2 years ago, where the quarterbacks were this expensive and the really expensive ones failed. But
Yes! 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 We having a bad time. Yes! Yes!
Oh.
I I cannot. The most anticipated podcast in like fantasy history. I
They
can't wait.
locked in the 102 before the draft, so the very first decision they had on the clock was a fucking disaster.
Oh my god. Sorry, Draco. Continue your point.
I'm sorry.
There.
Yeah, what were you saying? You're saying some smart stuff.
Well, there's been years where the elite quarterbacks are this expensive and failed. But what was different then was like you had these really expensive quarterbacks and then a big price drop to the next round. Whereas this year it's kind of like all the good quarterbacks are expensive, and then you don't really have the second year breakouts. The third year breakouts is just Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, and that's kind of it. So there is justification to taking a quarterback this early
because the alternatives are tough, is what you're saying. I mean, it is tough. How do you play the quarterback position? I mean, it's you either got to play into the high prices or you don't have great alternatives. I mean, but I freaking love that. Like, I mean. I don't know what I was expecting, but we've exceeded my expectations for the Davis side of this, and we're in the third round, and we've already my night's made.
Do you know what? This is what happened. So Liam pounded the table, Jamar Chase over Kelsey. Then they started arguing about Mahomes or Josh Allen, and Kyle was like, let's just take Jalen Hurts. And then Davis said, fine, I finally get a pick. Calvin Ridley looks really good in shorts. We're taking him. That's exactly what happened.
Right. It's 1, 2, 3. None of them are happy with any of the picks. They all hate 2 of the picks on the team.
The other thing too about like the elite quarterback stuff, and I do like when I do it, like I really want it stacked up. You know, with that thing, thinking even through the sprint element, all of those elements, like if you're going to do it, God, I want the premium stack. So I feel really good about the Kelsey Mahomes. If that's the way we're going to, if we're going to take the plunge with Kelsey, might as well take it with Mahomes there.
It's helpful that there are cheap receiver options as well that can like somewhat reduce the overall cost of the stack.
Yeah. I think the counter would be if you get a legitimate like legendary season out of that pick, and then maybe the quarterback's more replaceable, right? But it's just like, who was that going to be there? I mean, maybe you make the case for these guys that are going now, Ramondre Brees, but I don't think it's Keenan. I mean, I love Keenan Allen this year. He's one of my highest drafted receivers, but I don't think it's him. I mean, Taylor was the other one, like we were talking about. But like, you get a really special season instead of that stack, and then you're a little bit unique as well. Like, yeah, I mean, you can then the replaceability of the QB points maybe comes into play. But I'm with you guys. Like, we already made the bet on Kelsey. Like, we are betting for Mahomes to have a Mahomes year. He's going to be very good. This is a really high floor thing, too. It's just, I mean, it's a short regular season. A lot of the teams we draft are really receiver heavy, and sometimes, you know, it is tough to get the requisite points in 11 weeks to get even into your league playoffs. You know, we're building these teams that we think can win the whole contest in weeks 15 to 17, but they might not get enough points to even get there in the first 11 weeks. This is a start where, like, I feel really confident that we're going to be able to be in the mix to get to the shootout, right? And so that's a fun part of it.
Now we root for, that's all right. Let's get Waller off the board. Let's get Kittle. You know, let's get the early pit selection. Let's starve the beast here at tight end and push some of these wide receivers down to us.
And we did get I love it with Olave this start because, first of all, I like Olave more than Smith. I think he's a really good pick. Like, I think, you know, he kind of belongs with the group like Garrett Wilson. Like, he's a very strong pick, I think. Right. But you get him required to get that where we got him. It's helpful to be a little bit over, you know, not the 1-2, but the 103. So we get Kelsey at the 103. We get Olave, squeak him in there, and then we get Mahomes on the wrap. A lot of these teams are going to be built with Mahomes in the second, and then like Allen, you know, or like Ridley. I like that 1v1 a lot.
You see only 16 teams with our start so far. That feels pretty good.
How many
that's
their bed so far?
Oh, that's
probably of like 100
teams
lot. Drafted.
Let us have this. Oh, so that might be a ton.
I thought that was a small amount too until you said that, Pete. But I have the Rotoviz thing up, and they have 24 in there right now. So this is like, yeah, we're like 2/3 of the.
Tell me, who did those 16
I'm in
teams
Mojo.
take in their fourth round?
I'm on Fantasy Mojo's, and he has 16 leagues in here.
You're saying it was a single draft?
I'm saying 100% of Kelsey teams have this start.
Exactly. It's actually they just comes preloaded from the 3-hole.
I think this is over the last 7 days, but
Yeah. 11 hole does stack up Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews along with Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs. 12 hole Travis
That's the
Etienne.
gam start.
It is. There goes Darren Waller. That's what we like to see.
This, I mean, I know we don't lust over other teams, but this 108 getting Garrett Wilson at 205 and then Ramondre at 308. That's
pretty nice.
Knocked a couple fallers in there. That's a great start there.
Eckler, Waddle, Brees is a pretty fun start too.
That's a fun one too.
Let's see if
8, 9, 10 all because AJ Brown and Gibbs. I like that as well from 10. 8, 9, 10 doing great. Ooh, Kittle goes too. Pete, you called it. We're getting what you
starve the beast here.
Yes.
This is where Amish Rake says, Kyle Pitts isn't coming back. Time to get him. Sacrilegious, what are you thinking here for this 4th round pick?
I mean, I like a lot of the wide receivers that kind of fall here. Usually I randomize it. I don't really care too much. I don't have a strong lean on one guy over another here. I mean, the one I'd probably be least likely to take is like Christian Watson. I think I prefer playing the Packers through other avenues. And people forget this is not best ball, right? We got to set our lineup. Are we really going to be confident in plugging Christian Watson in every single week? He kind of feels like a better in best ball type of guy,
Yeah.
I'm with that take.
Yeah, we passed on him. We're doing another slow draft right now, and we had a tough decision. We were looking at either taking Kyle Pitts or Christian Watson. Ended up taking Pitts there back into the 4th and kind of pushing it around. And we're actually on the clock at that league too.
We're on the clock in that draft.
Flat wide receiver tier.
I pulled up the RotoViz tool, and because I wasn't as a co-drafter in, I put your email address in, and I felt very intrusive seeing you were on the clock on the other draft.
oh, for the RotoViz Command Center? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Get out of my room.
No, I put my own email address in now.
Yeah. Well, as if anyone you don't have to feel embarrassed about peeking in on his exposures, it's the guy streaming every one of his fucking drafts. So, Davis, save this commentary for your pod. Team 11 is going to be starting Juju and Zay Jones at wide receiver and beat us every single week. That is kind of our usual MO in this contest.
I forgot that August is when Davis turns into a boomer. He's always draft running backs early.
He starts looked about 0 RB and starts drafting.
Yeah,
Najee. Speaking of Najee, he does go off the board here. DeAndre Hopkins, Dallas Goedert. Holy cow, this is what I wanted.
This is
amazing.
Goddard
2 receivers in the last 13 picks, 14 picks.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's still on the board. I don't like him, but this is crazy.
Yeah, Amari's still on the board. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Yes, like the stream. We will do.
So Amari, is it Amari, Judy? I thought Watson was going to be the best by ADP.
Amari, Judy, Watson, DJ Moore, McLaurin, London, Godwin, Kirk, Deontay.
Yeah. We're going
to
like both of our wide receivers with these 2 picks.
I'm not a huge Amari fan, but I would be partial to taking him here. I mean, if Kelsey, Olave, Mahomes is like 100%.
Another hedge pick.
I think I'm Judy over Amari.
I would be Judy over Amari too. I thought Judy would have gone off.
Judy.
What do you think about Judy, Sacrilegious?
I'm fine with Judy.
He just said he hasn't taken Amari much. It's not going to take him much to.
Let me just double check.
Yeah. Can we double check
Judy?
100% of Kelsey, Olave, Mahomes teams
Judy
actually
has a higher ADP on Fantasy Mojo than Amari.
He does on RotoViz too, yeah.
For uniqueness purposes, Judy's the actual better play, and I'm fine with Judy over Amari.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Judy's very fun there.
That's crazy. I love that value.
Yep.
That's a great value, yeah. I'm not even that into Judy, but that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Amari might be more likely to make it back to us. Do you think these guys are picking Amari?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. Davis is taking it for sure.
They're Davis and Liam both don't like him, so probably yeah.
I think they could take Pitts too. I bet they're having a great argument about Kyle Pitts right now here.
Oh man, this is great. It's them or our Go Bills buddies that might take Pitts.
Yeah. Broncos do play the Chiefs twice this year. Yeah, we had to get a little correlation there those 2 weeks.
Get some shootouts.
Do they play in week 6?
Yeah, I'm checking that right now.
I keep forgetting who they play. I know one of the Chargers of the Broncos plays the Chiefs, but I can never remember which.
Yeah.
They don't
They
Chiefs
do
don't
it.
play either of those teams.
Kyle Pitts for the Dirty Boys.
They hit it. The Chargers play the Chiefs in week 18. I hate that. That's my most exciting matchup for freaking fantasy this year, and we get it once. Yeah. Broncos Chiefs are just twice in the regular season. It's like, I don't know. I don't have the weeks here, but it's going to be like week 9 and 11 or something.
Yeah. So let's see what our guys did we confirm this is the Go Bills crew from the one hole?
It is.
Okay.
Stevie Johnson he was a long time Bills receiver.
Oh yeah. No, I know that. I was just curious if that was for sure them. So we'll have to. It is kind of nice to have them blocked when any value comes back on this side of the board to have
Ayuk,
right? The cutoff.
Those guys.
They went down the ADP list for Ayuk. I dig it. Go get your guy. The drum beat is big time on Ayuk.
We might get Amari in the 5th if this is how this is going.
Right.
They passed on him twice.
There's a couple of receivers other than Amari I really like as well. I mean, I would be happy to take him.
So they did take Amari.
Why
I love how they had to do Ayuk
and then Amari.
That's fancy.
Yeah, there's 2 guys.
What are you thinking? Oh, so Christian Watson goes too.
I'd usually
love
give
McLaurin and London here. I think both are really strong picks.
Yep.
I was leaning London in my head. What do you
London.
think, Sacrilegious?
Those are the 2 that I would pick as well.
Someone put a running back in the queue. Draco, is that you?
That was me. Yes.
Do you want to? He's not going to come back, so just talk about it. Kenneth Walker, do you want to pound the table?
Yeah, I mean, like running backs do matter. Like I know we're gonna want to take wide receivers, so getting one person who'll be able to start in that slot every week and mess around RB2 will be
pass
better.
Catching thing really concerns me. I think we got to go one of these receivers.
The value's great on the receivers right now too.
I do think just because we did the QB and tight end that getting it. So are we McLaurin
Which one
or
do we
London?
want?
I'm leaning London.
Let's do London.
Sacrilegious. Okay.
I love London. I think he's a smash.
If we're not taking Pitts on this team, you get I mean,
okay. Talk it through. I think Draco. I like Kenneth Walker a lot too. I'm just thinking with the Mahomes pick.
Makes sense.
Making sure we get the 3rd, and because we do know like this room does, at least behind us, we know those guys are snatching up wide receivers. It's hard to know where it dries up.
Well, there's 15 picks so far from the 3 of us over here, and 1 running back, 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends between the Go Bills, the Davis Liam team, and us, and more quarterbacks and tight ends than running backs. That's amazing.
So our team here through 5 rounds: Travis Kelce, Chris Olave, Patrick Mahomes, Jerry Jeudy, and Drake London. Put that in your mojo chart and smoke it.
I love it. It's a fun start.
It is.
Yeah, pretty good. We got our young wide receivers. Got premium onesie stack.
Yeah.
I thought there'd be a third thing, but we've only made 5 picks.
We're a true 0 running back start.
Yeah,
it's true. This was the Go Bills. We're just replicating their winning formula: 0 RB, Mahomes, Kelce stack, easy game.
My first GPP win, I literally just did the exact same thing Leone did the week before in a different tournament. It didn't work.
Just run it back.
I ran his lineup back and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence come off the board. Yeah, neither. Yeah, because the Dirty Davis boys, they had already taken Hurts, so they weren't in the market for Burrow. And then the one hole, they had T. Higgins, but they didn't seem interested in Burrow either. I wonder how much of that is impacted by the calf strain or whatever, or how much of it is just like, hey, I don't want to be taking this quarterback in this range.
It does make Mahomes feel better, that Burrow is not going that much later.
True.
Yeah, Lawrence goes at 506. I mean,
I wonder if Go Bills was planning to take Burrow, and then they're like, well, we're going to take Amari at 501. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that'd be a hard value to pass on, even if you're like, we could stack with Burrow. It's easier. I mean, again, I don't love Amari, but like you're getting a lot of uniqueness there, I think, and he's a pretty good pick at 501.
But then they could have passed Ayuk if that was their thing, because Ayuk,
That's true.
They pounded the table for Ayuk. They went above.
Dude's tearing up camp. Tearing it up.
Yeah. Well, we had on our first slow main event, which, by the way, if you guys are YouTube members, we have videos and OTC on the clock mini series where we record every time we're on the clock. I actually need to make the most recent one visible here shortly. But we ended up taking Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk with two of our picks. And what? Brandon Ayuk, was that late 5th or early 6th that we took him?
It was late 5th. It was out of the 11 hole in the 5th. And
yeah.
We ended up taking Deontay on the wrap.
Yeah.
Who goes?
Yeah, and I like both those guys a ton, and I don't even clearly don't mind them together. Terry McLaurin does slide all the way to 5'11" to the team with the alpha start, Lamar, Andrews, Henry, Jacobs. Interesting to see some of these guys who went ahead of Terry here.
Yeah, that's a bit of a suck.
It's funny looking at the queue. Like the queue right now is just essentially all running backs right now. So we'll see how this next round shakes out. Kenneth Walker does finally go off the board.
I was starting to get a little bit like, oh well, maybe the injury is gonna freak him out enough.
I know.
Some chance he could have just slid. I mean, he's gone as late as 69. This says RotoViz in a main so far, which would be the pick before us. I think we're going to be pick 70. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Sacrilegious.
This next pick could be. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Drico. What were you going to say?
This next pick could be really tricky if some players we need to get taken don't get taken.
Some landmines.
I feel like we've got a lot of options that could come back to us here that I like.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I wonder what Drico's
I'm feeling
thinking.
pretty good too.
Will you put it in the private chat, Drico? We flesh that out a little. I don't know if we want to tell the whole story.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you're thinking there.
I'm over in the Davis, Liam, Kyle Zoom chat and kind of just telling them what
There's a lot of messages in there, man. You have to really got to skim.
It'd be hilarious if they had like such a huge falling out that they just close the call out and are just like autoing the rest of this, or like Liam's in his hot tub just drafting it on his own now. He just bought him out by the 4th round. All right. Mike Williams does finally go as well. He was the other kind of wide receiver slider, it looked like. Alexander Madison, Rashad White come off the board to start the 6th round. It's funny, too, seeing like I would have never have guessed if I looked at the 8 hole. They go Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Ramondre. I would have never have pegged that manager as a Najee drafter coming back right after that start.
Yep. Yep. Because this is a real revealing pick for coach here. Like, if he goes running back, classic FFPC start. If he goes wide receiver, I'm a little worried about him.
Right. This feels like a Miles Sanders pick. I'll call my shot. It used to be so much easier to profile drafters. These days, I feel like it's hard. Oh wow, James Cook. Wow,
he didn't let him hit the Bills' turn.
Yeah, he knows he's not coming back.
He saw the Stevie Johnson name and he said, "Screw this."
He wasn't coming back. He's right about that. He was not coming back.
Oh my goodness. Now we'll see what. So that Yeah, it does go. So the Najee drafter we were just talking about, then goes Deontay Johnson. They are on the clock now. Man, the James Cook steam to now have him jumping Sanders, Dameon Pierce, Cam Akers. I do not think I've seen that even happen on Underdog at all. That's pretty crazy.
Underdog is the least steamy of the platforms, I have to say. I mean, DraftKings is extremely steamy. You know, it's borderline too steamy in there. FFPC though, I think is maybe kind of a sweet spot. NFC seems similar, but Underdog things have been very static, like more static than I remember them being last year. I don't know if they. I don't know. If it's
I wrote about that a little bit today as well. I think everyone's anchored to where ADPs were and prices they got and things like that.
Maybe
there's a lot of noise as well that people overreact to training camp, and people don't want to be the guy who overreacts.
Mm-hmm.
There are subtle overreactions.
Wow.
That hurt.
Isn't that funny when everyone's like, "Oh, JSN goes in the 9th round on FFPC"? Not in my league.
We're in the room.
Not in my league. All right, Javonte comes off the board.
Christ.
Well. Look who predicted this.
I'd be happy to take Lockett here. Someone had J.K. Dobbins in the queue, and I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins was me. I mean, if we think we can push him around the turn, I'd be fine doing Lockett here and trying to push him. But I think
they have one running back.
There's one running back behind us. I think we take the running back first. And I kind of like some of these other wide receivers right alongside Lockett to where I won't be devastated losing him.
I'm not really into these other running backs. Like I don't like Pierce is okay, but I don't like Akers much. Connor, no. Montgomery, no. So if we're taking a running back, it kind of has to be Swift for me.
Swift, or we're talking?
Sorry, not Swift.
Dobbins. Oh, okay.
Dobbins.
Okay. Yeah, let's do Dobbins. Is everyone on board with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. 6'10".
Swift was the next guy on the list that I didn't say, and then
I was like, "Wow, you're introducing a curveball."
You have 12 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than confidently saying something that you just did not mean to say at all.
The Dobbins stuff is going to age gracefully when everyone realizes it's not about an injury.
It's not about the injury.
Yeah.
He has no leverage. What's he getting paid? Akers?
Yeah. I would have maybe floated him too, but it seemed like we were all moving.
I'm worried about his role. He's been splitting carries with Kyron Williams, which doesn't seem ideal. Like I legit think he might.
Kyron Williams.
Yeah, Kyron Williams. They talked to Kyron Williams up before a high ankle sprain, I believe it during the game in week 1, and then he's been repping with the ones this entire offseason and has been making plays in the passing game, and they're talking about him playing on passing downs. Like Akers strikes me as a very dead zone-y.
Yeah,
and then Williams got healthy and didn't really do much down the stretch. I mean, maybe he was still banged up, but was played for the whole second half of the year and did nothing. He's not an athlete. And the Rams of all teams, I think I don't care about camp hype from the Rams anymore. They talked up Van Jefferson for 3 years in a row. They're so stoked about Puka Nacua, who had to transfer from UW to BYU.
He might be good. You don't know yet.
Yeah, well, everyone they talk up every guy they get in camp.
You can't use that against him. I haven't seen if he's good yet.
They went and took Tutu Atwell in the second round. The guy does not weigh enough to be an NFL player, and then they're stoked about him. It's like they just want to believe their process makes sense, and it doesn't. They're fucking horrible at picking skill players, but they talk everyone up, and then people like you are like, Kyron Williams they're talking him up again.
Well, I don't think Akers is very good, and it's not great that he can't displace Kyron Williams. I think
that's not great.
Good.
Lockett does go. So, I mean, this is a pretty flat tier of wide receivers, I feel like.
I think Evans is kind of a smash here.
Yeah, I like Evans.
Marquise Brown, Pickens, Dotson, I think also in the conversation. But I'm good with Evans. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm good with Evans. The fun pick would be Pickens, but I think Evans is the right pick.
I was just gonna say we could go down to Pickens. I'd be fine with that.
Evans is reportedly having an insane camp, and they're moving around the formation a little bit more. So you're getting the Pickens hype, but less. But we don't care because it's the Bucks. But he's having that.
Mike Evans is who Pickens wants to be.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's a really good way of putting it.
You sold me. And I was going to try to make Kenny Pickett versus Baker Mayfield thing. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to go down this road. So we do go J.K. Dobbins, Mike Evans at that turn. So we now have Travis Kelce, Chris Olave, Patrick Mahomes, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, J.K. Dobbins, Mike Evans, and Davis telling the folks that Liam is in jail after that DeAndre Swift pick.
What do you think he did? Did he just?
I'm trying to figure out which pick was after Jamar.
I think the Swift. My guess is Kyle and Davis were pounding the table for Dameon Pierce, and Liam overruled for Swift is what my guess is.
Yeah, he came over the top and picked Swift way ahead of ADP, and yeah.
The one thing about, and I guess you could, the one thing I was thinking about with like the Akers and stuff versus Dobbins too, when I am thinking through like that playoff sprint and kind of just like the risks of where the Rams offense is at that point, what they're playing for. Whereas like the Ravens are going to be like a legit Super Bowl contender and trotting out their best players. Like it gets me excited to have a piece of the Ravens offense during that sprint.
I will say
the Ravens could be an awesome offense to have pieces of.
Yes. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. I think I would take Dobbins over Akers, even if I wasn't drafting the 4 people who all clearly preferred Dobbins over Akers. So like, just to be clear, like it wasn't like a really hard one for me. But Akers, my case for him would be he came back really quick after the Achilles for the playoffs that year and was terrible. Yeah. I guess that was the 2021 regular season, 2022 playoffs. Start of 2022 season was still only like 12 months from the Achilles. We know it to be more of an 18-month thing. We used to have no positive comps on this, but Deontay Foreman has churned out a pretty good career. One of the really interesting things on him, he was a 21-year-old rookie who tore his Achilles at 21. And then it's like a multi-year comeback, but he's still only like 24, 25 by the time Deontay Foreman starts doing well.
Like it was a bad.
He had other injuries as well and some off-field stuff. I was actually just researching this as a comp for Akers, and so like why he was out of the league for so long. But there was some stuff about work ethic as well. But he did make it back, and I think part of tearing it so young, he gets back to full health after the multiple years at still a young enough age. Akers, same deal, was a 21-year-old rookie. He turned 22 in June of the year he tore his Achilles. He just turned, I believe it's 24 this summer. He'll start this year a full 2 years removed from the Achilles. Late last year, when he was finally 18 months removed, which we've always said, is kind of an 18-month injury, finished the final 6 games averaging more than 100 total yards per game with 6 touchdowns over 6 games. Like, actually was really good over the final 6 games when he got a snap share up. I mean, if he's a guy, and he looked like he could be early in his career, the fact that he tore his Achilles so early and is now back at 24, 2 years removed from it, might give him enough of, like a career longevity standpoint, like enough juice left. I mean, that's what I'm telling myself when I take him.
I mean, it's a pretty good case. I mean, he turned 24 in June. That's nuts.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he was that young. So
a lot of the bad Achilles data points are guys that probably tore it and didn't have 2 years to still be 24, right? Like they're 27 when they get back from it after a couple of years. So
yeah. I just worry he's like a 2-down guy on an offense I don't like. That's kind of like my,
Very fair point.
Guys, we are what are we? We're 1 running back pick away from filling out our starting lineup, and then we can start to think about kickers and defenses too, just to kind of make sure we filled out that full starting lineup there. Quarterback, tight end, 4
when
wide
is too early
receiver.
for Justin Tucker?
I mean, we do have a clip. And we need to honor Blair Andrews anytime we can.
Wow. So Davis is now roasting us for taking J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
When they took DeAndre Swift the pick after, which is
like the same pick as J.K. Dobbins.
Wow. That seems insulting to J.K. Dobbins to me.
Pat Freiermuth goes here at 7-12. We also see Kadarius Toney go at 7-11.
Damn.
The 11 drafter is by far the most alpha drafter. Just does not care.
Right.
Is Alexander Madison an alpha pick or the most beta pick of all time?
I think it's alpha. I mean, like if Silva's pounding the table for a pick, it feels alpha to me.
It's a little bit.
What beta has Silva ever pounded the table for?
Is Silva pounding the table for Madison right now?
Madison isn't even like good. Like he's just like, I'll get all the touches. That feels safe. I feel
that
comfy.
has nothing
He's
to
like
do
a little
with
snuggle
testosterone,
blanket.
Pat. The high T guys love guys that aren't good picks.
No, Derrick Henry's high testosterone. It's like I don't give a shit.
In fairness, Madison does have size. He does run with quote unquote power.
Yeah,
but not very well.
Oh, you're saying Madison runs with power?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's his style. Not that he achieves.
You're saying that because he's slow, but I don't think he's not particularly powerful.
Davis is still going on about Dobbins. The head coach of the running back you took right behind it wore your running back's backup on a T-shirt to a press conference. He wore a Kenny Gainwell T-shirt. So
what I love about Davis,
didn't they say that Kenny Gainwell has like the 2 and 4 minute drill stuff for the Eagles?
Yes.
I think he's got more than that. He's got his coach's heart.
Davis drafted Kenny Gainwell's backup, and he's making fun of the best picks of the draft.
Davis is just coping through the shit show happening over there by lashing out at our team. That's what makes him feel better. It's a coping mechanism.
It is. So I feel for you. I feel for you, Davis.
Sam Sherman letting us know the Vikings depth chart saying Madison is alpha and Ty Chandler is beta. I mean, I guess that's the order they're in. Kenny and Nwangwu's alpha.
I guess Silva was a very ahead of market on Ty Chandler too. So, but it's still an alpha beta situation. Quentin Johnson comes off the board. David Montgomery. Dricko, what is JSN's like ADP in those super flax and in regular?
Have you been able to draft him?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like there's his ADP is like in like the 8th or 9th, like somewhere between the 8th and the 10th round. It's ridiculous.
I'm happy for you.
Must be nice.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to be on the clock in the 8th.
So Gabe Davis just went off. Who put Gabe Davis in the queue? Was that like a bit?
I didn't, but I would have loved to take him in the 8th. In the 8th round?
I just wanted to deny him from the Bills.
Oh, that would have been great. To take him before Liam? Oh, my God. Gabe Davis, 1 pick before Liam would have been great.
Matt says he got JSN at 7.5 in their first main. I thought he was even going later than that in some stuff.
So what pick are we at the end of the 8th here?
If I do math right, it would be what, 94?
94.
Okay. Juju goes off the board. Dotson sliding all the way back.
I think we're all
holding our breath for that.
Man, that same guy who stopped the JSN slide stops the Dotson slide. That's 2 of only 3 receivers for him so far, but
yeah, and has the Cooper Kupp anchor there. So talking this through a little bit, I mean, I definitely like Zay Flowers or Elijah Moore look like a little bit of a tier breakout wide receiver for me.
Is it what's the like top 5 running backs right now? Where are we at?
Top 5 running backs: Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, AJ Dillon, and Rashad Penny.
Okay. To me, that says that we don't need to take a running back because that's a very flat group.
Evan Ingram is also at the top of the queue along with David Njoku.
You could say running back's flat, but there's a guy there that I like more than the rest. So I'd be
I agree.
Yeah, but I also don't think either of these teams are taking him.
I also agree with that. I would.
I like the wide receivers here as well.
Yeah,
like
I think I'm Flowers too.
We've already made this bet on the Ravens.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Flowers, come on down.
Flowers tearing up camp.
And Davis being out on the Ravens is like the biggest confidence boost I've ever had. This whole last week, when we've gotten the big slide in J.K. Dobbins' ADP, like I've been drafting an absurd amount of volume on DraftKings where he goes and like pick 90 or pass even sometimes, just scooping up as much Dobbins and all other Ravens pieces as I possibly can, trying to take advantage of the Bateman out tag while he still had it. And Davis just boosted my confidence.
I'm going to do that tonight, actually.
Tonight, he says, at 9:48 p.m. what night?
Yeah, dude. I'm going to stay up late and draft on DraftKings, okay? Sorry, Dad.
Well, it's a little bit different when you wake up at 2 p.m. every day, in fairness.
Exactly.
Sacrilegious and Pat, will you guys mention in the chat who did you guys have the same RB? I'm curious.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's where I was too. Got it.
They do go Cortland Sutton there, along with Chase, Ridley, Watt, and Tyler Lockett. Oh, it could
There it is.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Liam is
Yes!
devastated. Holy
What?
cow.
This is, I mean, I can't believe you guys took Zay. I am sick. I wanted you to take Sky so badly. Davis is having a good one right now.
Well, I guess we could have been Guy because of the correlation, but I don't know. Zay's a better pick.
They've taken Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, and Cortland Sutton, a 2017 receiver room if you've ever seen one. Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm
Davis
surprised.
is in shambles.
Yeah. They wanted Flowers. Bateman does go too. Wow.
Oh, damn.
I wondered if we would trigger that from one of these two, because both of these teams, I think, they're not going to see Bateman as being that much different than Flowers.
Ooh.
Charbonnet.
I think Elijah Moore is kind of a smash here.
So it's Elijah Moore, Rashad Penny, I think is.
I like a different Browns receiver later.
Oh,
that's spicy.
So where are you at, Religious?
Oh, I'm Penny. I'm like sprinting to the podium to smash Penny in here.
Okay.
I'm pretty Penny on this too.
Draco, did you just get elbowed out of the way as sacrilegious?
I think I got elbowed out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Penny's a fun pick here.
Did you read the private chat? We were all we had Penny.
We were all trying to play it cool, but we're all like, "Oh, Penny, man."
There's a lot of Penny.
Yeah, there was a lot of Penny stuff. I went on a limb.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all the leverage on team with Drake London, cucks Kyle Pitts, and with Rashad Penny cucks DeAndre.
We don't need leverage on this team. They're not going to be in the fucking sprint.
Oh man. Yeah, that 5-hole recovered at wide receiver nicely though. After going Cup, then Pollard, Hawkinson, Mixon, Burrow, then goes JSN, Kamara, Dotson, Moore. He got like 3 wide receiver values there in those past 4 rounds.
Yeah, those wide receivers really helped that team.
Can you pull up this comment from Terrell?
You need running backs?
It just warms my soul to have this back in my life.
It is nice to have that back. Especially coming from legendary Mile High Salute Broncos running back Terrell Davis himself. Means a lot.
Yeah, it is nice. Terrell Davis thinks you need running backs. Davis is just a half second late to that joke.
So here's our team through 9 rounds. We got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. We got Travis Kelce at tight end. We got 2 running backs, J.K. Dobbins and Rashad Penny. We got Chris Olave, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, Mike Evans, and Zay Flowers at wide receiver. We finally drafted a team that's not
fifth wide receiver before finishing our starting lineup. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, we'll make up that Bills defense is not getting back to us in the 11th, I think is something we need to plan for.
I'm very happy with this start. It's a very fun start.
It is. Everyone's still eyeing Team 12. Everyone likes Team 12. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, Mike Williams, Pat Freiermuth, and Jordan Addison. It is a fun team.
It's kind of rare for a team to have like that kind of like sexy start to have like gotten to the 8th round and they haven't fucked it up yet. Like maybe the 9th round is where they make that pick. But so they have they've been sticking to it.
Dricker just called the team sexy. In the chat here saying Team 12 is making me hot. Tyler's gonna be in the chat here any second. I haven't seen him tonight.
Wow, everyone is horny for Team 12. I'm sure they're on a Zoom call right now, just all jerking each other.
Oh no, here's
off.
Tyler. See, here he goes. Team 12 is huge toddies. I knew it.
Goodness. Yeah, Sky Moore, he might have sneaked into the queue there. Davis was hoping we would take him instead of Zay Flowers. I mean, come on, Davis.
Give us a little credit, buddy.
We can't play all the hits on here. We got to keep some clips in the chamber.
We've taken him a lot of times. We would have rolled that clip last year.
8-9 turn just feels a little too early as well.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'd take him on the 8-9 turn on underdog, but just the different, the receivers that were there.
Right.
I just feel like he's.
Hang on. I want, because I know if people have watched the Best Ball Breakfast when Sacrilegious came on, and it hasn't come out yet, but Sacrilegious was a Best Ball Dateable finalist. We had him on today that will air tomorrow on my channel. But tell the people in as simple fashion as possible about the Sky Moore, the agnostic advance rate stuff you worked on and the kind of the quirks with his advance rate stuff last year.
Yeah, so I think off the top of my head, Sky Moore had something like a 12% advance rate last season, but he did like stone nothing for your team. Like he scored almost no points for you on a normal roster, And when I did my roster agnostic advance rate calculation, which short explanation, I swapped him onto every single roster in Best Ball Mania 3 and reran the advance rates and tested him in every single team. His advance rate plummeted to like 6%, so it was cut in half. I mean, that was among the stone worst. I think the only people that were close to that was like Kenny Galladay and like Trey Lance. That was the company.
Oh,
that he
Trey
was in.
Lance,
Which means the people that were drafting Sky Moore were the actual people that were clicking his name were advancing him twice as frequently as he should have been advanced, which means we're all geniuses.
Right.
Well,
We
yeah,
add
you know what's
6%.
crazy?
but not smart enough not to draft Sky Moore.
Well, you know what's crazy? The Jacobs advance rate went the other way 6% as well. So I think that we can say that the good drafter edge is about 6%. So if you're
Okay,
That is very.
that's pretty good. That's a pretty good.
Willis mentioning the Eno thing. This is, and I don't want to take words out of Sacrilegious' mouth, but this is basically the inspiration for the Dateable project that Sacrilegious tackled, because all of the sharp drafters self-selected on Eno Benjamin that year, even though he did nothing.
Yeah, so keep hammering us for drafting Sky Moore when the data says that the players we're drafting are the other 17 players are, we're just handcuffing ourselves.
The data says we're allowed to be fucking idiots, okay?
Yeah. We got to give you guys a chance. We got to handicap ourselves a little bit.
It's Sacrilegious. This was a big point of the Sky thing, though, right? What get Shrek'd, brah? God, really?
Yeah, it was drafted at a high frequency with Kelsey and drafted at a high frequency with Mahomes. But you can do that. You can look at those pairings and combos with other players too. And like, for example, Jacobs was on a bunch of teams that were really poorly constructed, and that's why he had that lower than actual advance rate. So I think that part of it comes from the Travis Kelsey, Pat Mahomes just helping to drag Sky Moore teams to the playoffs. But there's definitely a part of it that is, hey, people that draft better on average were clicking Sky Moore. And you can, if you go through all the results that they're in the GitHub, but you can see.
To the hey, it's just a Mahomes thing would be like then Justin Watson or one of these other kind of random Chiefs receivers, of which there are several, would have.
I was drafting
been the guy who jumps out. Yeah, I mean, and those guys did get dragged along, like Quez Watkins, right? Quez Watkins just got dragged along by Jalen Hurts teams. He didn't really do anything. But I think there's probably something additional happening as well.
Right. I mean, I think the basic takeaway is that if you're drafting Josh Jacobs, what brand of wood grain alcohol were you drinking last year?
Yes.
What brand? Tell us.
Yeah.
Lefroy?
I don't know any brands.
This is why I think, I heard Sacrilegious mention his like randomizing players within a tier. I feel like I've been like throwing around this idea of, and maybe even doing it for a stream, where I like randomize an auto pick in 2 of the top 10 rounds just to get me on players that I don't traditionally draft. Like I've barely been taking Miles Sanders, but just like being forced to take Miles Sanders, building how I otherwise do to land on this year's Josh Jacobs that I'm not clicking, but actually build a good roster around Josh Jacobs in a way that drafters weren't doing that last year. This is my new idea I'm floating out there.
So I do stuff like that when I have a combo or like a combo through like 4 or 5 rounds. That's like, okay, I've got a lot of this combo, and then I just click someone that I'm never clicking in that spot. That's how
I like that.
This was the Cam Akers take. You guys didn't realize that
you were just randomizing it. This is what I love about, we're talking like agnostic level advance rate in randomization, and then Sanders has no ankles. Yes, that's why I should randomize it auto.
Pierce is the guy I could see us being real wrong on, right? He's a young back. It's like obvious in retrospect by things that we like that it's like, oh, they just gave him all the work and he's young and he's not.
Who just put Odell Beckham in the queue, please?
Listen, we're talking about randomizing our picks. We have 2 Baltimore players. Who do you want? They're all bad picks here. Let's at least correlate it.
I like Herbert. Khalil Herbert's the top there at running
Herbert's
back.
Fine.
Jamal Williams, Damian Harris. At wide receiver, it's Odell, Nico, Jacoby Myers, Lazard. Tight end is Chig.
I would argue for Damian Harris over Herbert and those. I don't know. I know.
What about Laporta? I'd be into Laporta.
Oh, that's an.
I think Laporta is actually very good here too.
I would prefer. I just do not like Damian Harris.
Okay, let's take
Laporta.
there.
All right, Sacrilegious. Do you like Laporta?
Yeah, let's do Laporta.
I mean, the Harris thing. Latavius Murray's 34, I think it is. Harris is like 26. And so, like, there's all this talk that they're going to split that role. But, like, Latavius Murray is as old as Travis Kelce, but he's a running back.
Jalen
so
Warren,
even if
he's fun.
He's a fun one. Even if Harris is just, like, I'm just saying, maybe if he swings back around, even if he's just the handcuff to Cook, I think he's a pretty good pick at this point.
But I don't know that he is. That's like where, like, these handcuff guys, like, it can feel like we're kind of like yo-yoing around, but I do want to be receptive to news that, like, no, this guy's not a clear handcuff, and then be like, oh shit, I'm running for the hills.
That's what I was saying, though. Like, are you that worried about a 34-year-old Latavius Murray? I mean, I do buy that he's doing well in camp, but over the course of a full season, like when the handcuff thing plays out in October or November, I don't think it's clear either, to be clear. But I think I would be happy to bet on him.
What if the other guy who would mix in a handcuff situation is somebody other than Latavius Murray, somebody we don't know? Like, that's the problem.
Damien Harris has been really good.
Because that's what it's like. Not only do you have to dodge Josh Allen, a James Cook breakout, but then also just him battling Latavius Murray. It just seems like so many things you have to get right.
Well, like compared to Algier, right? Like Algier's a clear handcuff in the run.
Well, let's table this because we're on the clock and Khalil Herbert's gone, so we need to.
I don't think I'm tabling it. I'm floating Algier.
Oh, you're floating Algier as the pick.
How is he the clear handcuff with Patterson?
You view Patterson as a guy? That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Anyone
Drico,
else?
Sacrilegious. Any names?
Is the guy just put in the queue too far a reach? Or we didn't?
I don't see it in the queue. I mean, he's probably not coming back.
I would have no problem with it.
I have no issue with that.
I don't either. I mean, it's this whole tier here. Like, you're looking at the Rashi Rices, whatever. I'm completely fine with Mims.
And like, I wouldn't do this in best ball, but like this is the part of the draft where like we should be taking shots, right? Like,
yeah.
I just want to be clear that you guys have jumped the fucking shark on Damian Harris. Like, absolutely jumped the fucking shark.
I'm shocked insane that you're a Damian Harris guy.
That he was like, well, there's 45 seconds and I'm making the case for him in this pick. And Pete's like, let's table this. We have to make a real pick. Like, this isn't even in discussion.
No.
Well, in fairness, you had like 3 people arguing against you.
Yeah, he was talking about Algier. But I think Algier versus Harris is a real question.
Going to catch no passes, not even a lock for the goal line.
He's been a good receiver his whole career.
He's been efficient, but he's never really been used. It's like, I was
good pass
with you
as well.
Yeah, I was with you on, by the way, Algier going ahead of Harris, redemption. I was with you a couple weeks ago, but like everything we've heard since has been like he doesn't have a clear lead. He's not in the mix for the number 1 role at all. That's what's coming out of camp. He's not he doesn't have a clear lead over Murray. Murray's looked really good in short yardage, which is the whole appeal of Harris if he's the number 2. I'm just getting like, I'm just hearing stuff I don't want to hear, and they didn't sign him to that much money. That was the other red flag the whole time, is he didn't get any money. So it's like they're not really that committed to him. They don't think that much of him because they got them super cheap. He got like, I think, less than $1 million more than Latavius Murray got.
I mean, if we're that confident James Cook's the one, then he should be going in at the 604 in every draft. If we are that concerned about Latavius Murray, who I just looked, turns 34 in January, like right after the turn of the year. It's his age 33 season. He's fucking so old. Like,
Yeah, but you
like
just touted Patterson, and he's like the same age.
No, he's 32, and he didn't do.
What's the fucking difference?
Well, the other difference is they've used Patterson in that offense, and his coach is like, this guy's a gadget player. We're excited to use him in a bunch of ways. He's literally talking up. I mean, I understand that Murray is being talked.
Murray's getting talked up too.
Yeah, he's a new addition to their team, though. I mean, it's totally different. Like, Patterson has gotten 200 touches in the last 2 years, but 165 last year, 205 the year before in the offense that we're talking about in that backfield. But I mean, like, there's going to be running backs in Buffalo that get touches. Who else? I mean, it's Latavius Murray. Do we think Cook's going to get everything? They've never really given one guy all the work. Like,
Yes, they have.
I don't want to come. They did
Devin Singletary got 100% of snaps in a playoff game. 100%.
Okay, so for a few stretches with Singletary, that's fair, and it could happen with Cook. But that was my point about Harris. If Harris is just a handcuff, I'm taking him in this range, and I want to bet on him to be the handcuff over a 34-year-old Latavius Murray. I think that's jumping the shark to take camp reports this seriously in a really good offense where, like, Harris does have stuff in his favor. Like, we're acting like there's nothing in his favor. This guy's been good.
The thing is like the ceiling case for Damien Harris, like on a week-to-week basis, is there, right? Like, could he score 2 touchdowns? Sure. But you're going to be taking like legit 3s and 4s multiple weeks with Damien Harris. Like, he's not going to catch passes. He's going to get vultured by Allen or Cook and stuff, or they just don't, lean on the run game. Like, he is a very low floor weekly player, even if you acknowledge the ceiling.
I don't. Is it in starting like non-best ball, start him, sit him leagues? Like, we would.
I'm saying I would prefer him way more in Damien Harris in best ball. I don't have to guess when he falls into the end zone twice. I do not want to start him and take those 2s and 3s and 4s that are coming.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a handcuff, there's scenarios where Cook is like hurt or not as good as we think, and I think it's actually clearer to play Harris than what you just let on. But
right, but I don't want to. Yeah. I just think that the handcuff plays, there's maybe better handcuff plays even in this range that are still on the board. Like, if you're playing for just purely contingent.
It's not purely that, to be clear. I'm saying if it's purely that, he still probably should go in this range. I think that's a lot of confidence in Cook, which is fine if you're that confident, but he should be going higher if the market's that confident in him. I mean, this is like one of those
it's more like, to me, it's
this is a small gap backfield where the number 2 back historically does pretty well in these scenarios, right?
That's right. Gretch, are you sort of making a talent argument for Harris?
I'm making enough of one that, like, we shouldn't be this certain that, like, the first week of camp reports means that we have to be completely out on this guy. Like, he's not 5.0 yards per carry, 4.6, 4.4 the last 3 years, over 100 carries every year. He's always been an above average rusher. And he's been efficient as a receiver when used, not used often, obviously. Like, there's enough of a talent argument to make one, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I did my review of the NFL Next Gen metrics, and he was a guy that actually came out, and I was like, I actually want to take more Harris and less Cook. So I was like, I have this gap is like too wide. But since then, we've got nonstop reports that Cook is clearly established ahead of Harris, and that Harris and Latavius Murray are kind of not like, there's not a clear hierarchy there, and Murray's done well in short yardage in particular, and like,
which matters. But August running back reports shouldn't be that important to us. We're playing into uncertainty with running back always.
Yeah, but the thing for me with Harris is that, like, he like pops in my stuff like a little, like not a lot, but enough to make me think like I don't want to take this huge stance on him over Cook without additional info. But with additional info, like, I think I am willing to, like, in like the rushing stuff, like he actually comes out, it's funny, I have this model, he comes out literally like a sliver behind Tyler Algier. Like, it's like the same, to me, it's the same bet. It's the same bet. Just like a guy who's, pretty good, not great. And you kind of got to then evaluate like how likely he is to get any work. It's mostly a contingent value play. How far ahead he is over the number 3. Your mileage of area.
Terrell Davis is bringing the heat. Wait, so you're saying Algier and Harris are the same bet? I mean, I'm fine with that, Dave. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying they're like the same bet. Yeah.
Yeah, but then Harris, I would then say, okay, well, better offense. I would want Tip to like having. I think there's scenarios where for Harris, if Cook gets hurt, you're talking about cold weather stuff. So one of the things I've talked a lot about as well, these teams that have added a second tight end, I think we're going to see them use that formationally to try to force defenses out of the nickel formations, out of the lighter formations. So they went and drafted Kincaid and immediately said, we think of him as our Cole Beasley role. We're now playing our slot guy as a second tight end, so we can line up in formations with 2 tight ends and then split him out wide if you get into another linebacker on the field. If you don't match that, we put 2 tight ends on the line and we do some power running, which in cold weather in Buffalo, I think we're going to see them do some power running. Not a lot. They're still going to be a pass-heavy team, but their PROE was way lower last year than it had been the couple years prior once they lost Dable. I do think you're going to see a little bit more schematically of like a ground and pound at times, like certain packages from the Bills. And Harris or Murray is probably the guy that winds up being the obvious fit there in December from like a size and like that's their. I mean, unless James Cook is just that good, which again, like I'm fine with that bet as well. But I really think we've jumped the shark on Harris if we're not even willing to take like 11th, 12th round bets on. I think there's enough here. That's just my take. I mean, I'm not certain about it. There's enough here though.
Is your take that we didn't give Harris his due, or that he was a clear pick over Marvin Mims?
No, not that he was a clear pick over Marvin Mims. As soon as someone said Mims, I stopped arguing Harris, and it seemed like we were all moving that direction. And then I said you jumped the shark after Mims was taken.
Your argument was that we'd never even considered him, that we should have at least considered him.
Yeah. I just, I was doing a callback to Leone's jump the shark thing.
Right. No, I know, but I'm curious what your actual take was, because I think Mims is a very fun pick, I think, and I don't feel bad about it.
I don't feel bad about that pick at all. Wide receiver 6, that's a great pick. Yeah. No, I'm not lamenting that we didn't take Harris.
It's another bet against the 102 who took Courtland Sutton.
We love betting against the 102. That's our favorite thing to do. Let's regroup for this second pick. We're about to be on the clock in the 12th. We do only have 2 running backs, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Penny. Love your wide receivers. A little worried about your running backs. There are definitely some names on the board here. Raheem Mostert just comes off. Zeke Elliott comes off as well. I assume, do you guys all in agreement this is a running back selection here?
Yeah, probably. We do still have that correlated guy we didn't take last time.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
Yeah. We can talk Rashee Rice. I mean, he's been falling in underdog drafts too. Did someone say he got banged up? I think that was the reason that he's been falling.
He's been running with the 2s.
It was like a non-issue though. His banged up thing was nothing.
Yeah. I have no problem. I mean, the point, you take Rashee Rice this year like you took Sky Moore last year because it gets you on Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, right? And then we get a really good advance rate with Rashee Rice, even though he does nothing.
Here goes Rashee Rice.
Fuck you, 105. That's so many picks. That's JSN. That's Stotson.
Oh, wow.
Dobbs. Right. Now it's fucking Rashee Rice.
It goes best.
I love it.
I mean, I like these rookie running backs here. What do you guys like?
Where are you guys?
Yeah, I like
Kendre. I think Kendre's a smash.
I still love Kendre.
I have so much Kendre, so why not, man? Let's just live and die.
Like we need somebody that we would like somebody that at some point we're really confident. Okay, let's start this guy. We're hoping for 10, 15, maybe 20 points.
Who are the other ones? Is Roshan Johnson one of the other?
Roshan Johnson, Tyjae Spears, Devin Singletary, Jeff Wilson.
Yeah,
kind of top of the queue.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make a case for Roshan too, but Kendre is a great pick.
I like both of those guys. Yeah, let's do Kendre. Sacrilegious is underneath his desk right now with his randomization tool. Being like,
he's got like
can't randomize Kendre.
That's what I'm worried that he's like randomizing and then it says Kendre and he's like, Kendre's a fucking smash.
Well, we picked Sacrilegious to do stat chasing. We didn't know it was going to be coming with Magic 8 Ball that he just shakes before every selection. So our team now through 12 rounds, Kelsey at tight end, Mahomes at quarterback, wide receivers, Olave, Judy, London, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Mims, and now 3 running backs, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Penny, and Kendre Miller. And excited to know what the Dirty Boys are discussing right now.
Yeah, they're discussing in perfectly pleasant tones.
They're talking about Roshan and Herbert together, and they went Jeff Wilson.
Okay, there we go.
They got down to 6 seconds.
Oh,
yes.
God.
I thought they were wondering if it was too early for Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, we do know Liam refuses to leave a draft without. We did that as a randomizer prompt, going through his BBM entries and seeing if we could find any without Bills. I think we found like 3 across his entire portfolio. Was it? That was a great prompt. Yeah.
How was the Scott Hansen randomizer?
It was fun. Yes, it was. Your prompt came up and he sang 1877 Cars for Kids.
Yes.
Yes.
That's amazing.
He was awesome. Yeah.
I had to have him reenact a commercial in Commercials Revenge.
Exactly.
There's no commercial.
Davis says didn't have Equanimous St. Brown mentioned tonight on the bingo card. So they were talking about the Bears.
Oh my god.
They're talking about Roshan.
Yeah, and then
they got sniped on Gainwell.
Doesn't Gainwell have a higher ADP than Jeff Wilson? Or am I
think he does. Let me check.
I was like, why didn't you take Gainwell first?
Yeah, Jeff Wilson was a reach.
No, Gainwell is a slightly lower ADP.
Okay. Just play the ADP game, man. It's fine. My goodness.
So why were they going to combine Swift with Gainwell? That doesn't make any sense.
Seem like extra.
That doesn't make any sense. They're like the exact same play.
Yeah.
They're handcucking. You're handcucking.
All right. They take. I'm down for Roshan.
Roshan seems fun. Tajay would be the other guy I would float.
I'm fine with Tajay too. Roshan or Tajay. Do you guys have leans?
I just when someone said we would want to know that we can play him, Roshan to me feels like he has less in the way than Kendre. I was just kind of thinking through that take. I really like Roshan too, but he is a guy who feels like he could be the clear guy at a certain point in this backfield, right?
That's definitely true. I would say the same
he has
for Tajay.
outs emerging that don't involve an injury, which is nice.
Right, that's sort of my idea there. Yeah,
that's the most appealing thing about him. He just becomes the guy down the stretch by his own talent.
Right.
Sacrilegious, you have anything?
I would do Roshan here.
Yeah. Okay. Drico, do you like it?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
I think Sacrilegious made this point already, but we're definitely in a range where we're not worried about cutting any of these guys. So not that I'm against Roshan, but it's it's really hard to feel too confidently for one over.
But Kendre and Roshan are a really nice pair there. I will say I like the Mims over Harris play even more now. And the chat is going to love this because they loved how long I went on Harris. But I like where we're at now.
Nothing makes me feel better just to know that we've owned the soul. Tree souls.
This is a main event. And in round 13, he's just like, you gotta hand it to the ship chasing.
Jordan Mason goes right after us. Wow.
Wow. There's some steam.
He's still going undrafted.
Caffrey.
Oh God, yeah. There's the triple condom handcuff there.
Wow.
So the one thing I will say, and we've definitely been in this territory before with main events, and I'm a little less concerned about it with this specific roster because we have Mahomes and Kelsey. But one thing that happens when you take so many rookies is you're naturally waiting for them, even if they don't hit right away. So you do have lots of roster cloggers, right? Because you're not cutting Zay Flowers, Marvin Mims, Kendre Miller, or Roshan after 5 weeks. The thesis is unchanged, and so it is just something to think about.
Laporta.
In Laporta, you're so thinking through that.
Yeah.
I
don't even
maybe
think
we
Kelsey. Kelsey picks up an early injury and misses a couple weeks, and Laporta's not really doing anything yet, we might want to be talking about adding a third tight end. Like, there's a lot of.
That's true. Yeah.
I think though some of these guys, like, if they hit, they'll hit straight away. Like, if Zay Flowers is a hit, we should know pretty early on.
Kind of the same thing with Kendra, right? Just with the Kamara suspension, like, his opportunity should be a little more front weighted.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. That's a great point.
And
I was worried about that.
Like, Laporta's TE1. Like, that was a report they came at. Like, they're like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
Right. That's multiple reports. That's facts.
He's got the job. Doesn't mean he's going to get a bunch of targets in week 1, but, like, we're going to get.
We can just play him, though. In the scenario I just said with Kelsey, we can play him. I think you guys are right. With the individual players we actually have, like, I feel pretty good about Zay early season with Rashad Bateman being banged up. I feel pretty good about Laporta with the reports. Mims with all the Broncos.
Mims and Roshan, I think, are 2 true rookies.
We should figure out stuff on Mims, though. They don't have the other receivers. Like,
True.
I mean, we might want to still hold him, but if he's not playing at all early, I might be a little concerned, you know?
Yeah, agreed.
We have a good group of we should find out early type rookies.
Sam saying Roshan's going to be behind Travis Homer. I wonder if Sam's at all tilted by the fact that Homer was listed behind Travis Ebner on the Bears' initial depth chart.
Wait, Sam likes Travis Homer? I hadn't heard that.
He's really.
I don't think he likes Travis.
There's something
Homer.
about Travis Homer.
No, I think he's really good.
No.
He thinks.
I know he's. I think he's wrote his name in the chat 17 times tonight.
If Sam doesn't think Travis Homer's really good, then I'm not sure why he brings him up every show.
But
go ahead, Draco.
It is a thing where, like, it's the way Sam is looking at it is like Travis Homer playing is someone who can keep, like,
you're right. Sam has a. I'm assuming people will watch ADP chasing and know the actual take, but it's that he's plays special teams and Roshan will be inactive because Homer's going to play special team, which could definitely happen.
I did see the tweet for the chat.
All I know is I feel really good about Roshan when Jordan Mason comes off the board right after him. Have any of you started doing the
look at Henry. Henry points out that Team 11 did take Zay Jones in the end, as Davis had predicted in round 4 or something like that.
Wow, the prophecy comes true.
Well done.
Damn, dude.
I was going to ask, have any of you guys started to do the Galaxy Brain late round Tyrion Davis Price, Jordan Mason sprinkles flavor of the week?
I haven't.
No, I have not.
No.
Not for 49ers running backs, no.
It used to be one of my favorite things to take a random 49ers running back just because, like, you could never be confident what was going to happen there. But CMC being on that team just, like, sort of takes that away, I think.
Yeah. Pat, I was just remembering, did, like, the Leone dead roster spots stuff kind of, like, kill the new random 18th round pick every week bit?
Not for me. I just have pivoted what I'm doing. I haven't told people about it as much, but I've been heavily, like, right now, like, I'm taking a lot of Michael Wilson. Just really psyched about Michael Wilson. But normally it would have been more of a running back. I also take Kyron Williams a fair amount right now.
Okay.
Because he's clearly locked in number 2. I was about to take Keontae Ingram, then he got hurt. Then Marlon Mack got signed and was clearly the number 2. Then he got hurt. So I'm looking at Arizona and wondering, because someone's playing it in week 17 that's not James Conner probably. So I've been keeping my eye on that one, but I haven't really dove in. Zamir White's obviously been elevated. So I'm keeping my eye. I think this is the time of year where we want to just take the leap, right? Like if the beat reporters are saying this guy's the number 2 and he's not a popular pick, go ahead and take the leap because especially if that guy was not previously drafted. Like if it's someone who drafters have been avoiding in early drafts, that's a big advantage that you're getting on those early drafters if you're taking a guy they never were drafted.
I think too, like the thing about the dead roster spot, I think that's really important. I sort of have for a while, but when you're talking about the last round, they're all sort of dogs to not be dead roster spots.
They're all dogs to matter for sure.
So like taking somebody who's like also a dog and not highly selected, like I think is still good, even taking that analysis into account.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
So
are you guys
we're
feeling
about to-
with this pick?
Fucking Justin Ross in the 14th.
Justin,
This guy's just trolling you now, Draco. He's watching the stream like, let me see if I can make this Irish guy more pissed off. What can I do?
I still kind of like the running backs here. The top two by ADP are Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Russell Wilson comes off the board.
I would be down to handcuff and go Deontay Foreman and like get
Just
two
play
cracks at a non-Herbert Bear.
Yep.
Is the backfield too thin though for that?
I don't think so. I mean, they're going to run the shit out of the ball. If it's not Herbert, like we've got somebody.
But like,
It's
isn't that
13th
kinda
and 14th
trap?
round.
Like, you're not going to get targets. Justin Fields is going to get an outsized role on the goal line. So, like,
But
you
you
might
are
get a
gonna
lot
get
of carries, but not that valuable overall.
You're gonna get efficient carries.
It could be polarized too, of like this where you get Foreman production early,
Right.
and then you get the Roshan
There
stuff.
are
later.
ways
Well,
we lose.
if you get one production early and then the other one's late, you're going to cut the guy.
Okay, who would you? We
Chuba.
got 12 seconds. Chuba. I'd be Deontay. I think still.
I'm
Let's-
Deontay.
I like both of them, but it seems like we have more votes for Foreman.
Right.
All right, so we select Foreman. I like Chuba too. Maybe he
Chuba's a
comes
good
back
pick,
here.
but yeah, he might swing around, right?
Because I still think we can keep taking. I see like one or two more running backs I like, and then it's pretty wiped
Then
if
it's
we want
over,
to
yeah.
turn to some other positions after that.
There is a Jacksonville ball carrier that we can draft later as well.
I mean,
I want to know who these
Are you-
random Browns.
unless you're talking about
receivers in
Laviska
Jacksonville-
Chenault,
Is
that's
that
not
Jamal
like,
Agnew? What are you saying? What are you saying, man?
I'm still waiting for your. I assume it's a Cedric Tillman take. Is that the take?
Yeah, wait, is it Donovan?
Yeah,
Peoples-Jones?
it's a Cedric Tillman take.
No. Is it Donovan? It was DPJ.
Dude, look
Okay,
how low
okay.
this clock is going. Just fucking bickering right now.
These guys.
Dude, you got the last 3 picks.
Wait, so who's the Jacksonville ball carrier?
Well, I misspoke. I meant Carolina, but I tipped my hand. It's
Oh.
Laviska.
No, you meant
Oh, okay.
Got it.
I thought it was a swag new take. I was like, oh god, where do you guys get your ideas? If they fucking take Chuba, where do you get your ideas?
I mean, we
Love Star
could
says
really
that-
tilt them and take Blackshear.
They are
That's
just
the main guy.
puking all over this board. Oh my god. Davis
I mean, Hubbard's a
is
good
just
pick.
so dehydrated from the vomiting.
Wow, Henry wants us to take Tucker so we don't have to stream kickers for this team. Let's ask Stephanie. Stephanie, do you want us to take Tucker so you don't have to worry about kickers on this team?
I want to take Tucker.
kind of raised a good point. Where
I
it's
mean,
like, who's doing the Well, are you guys doing the waivers to like randomize kickers this year?
did you say randomized? Because sacrilegious, his ears just perked up. If we want, if we want to randomize our kicker selection on waivers all year, I am definitely down for that.
Who are some names in the queue? Oh, I can go to the
Yeah, what
Rotoviz.
positions?
Yeah, just indie position. I don't know. I just want to know some players that are available.
So just straight up
Ferguson.
in the queue: Philadelphia defense, Adam Thielen; San Francisco defense, Justin Tucker, Chase Brown; Dallas defense, Gesicki, Conklin, Gus Edwards. I kind of like Ty Chandler, and I could also be talking
I
to
don't
some of
think
these
it's
tight
Chandler,
ends.
man. He's bombing in camp.
Yeah.
So is McBride. They've said McBride's not ready either.
Yep. It's
They might
Keenan.
They're
try
all
somebody.
bombing,
Yeah, Kenny
which
and
is not
Longwood
great.
might be the number 2 right
Yeah,
now. I would float Michael Mayer.
I don't mind the tight ends.
Mayer's
We're just
fun.
gonna.
Yeah,
a
no, I think
roster.
that's good. After Jake
a-
Ferguson, fuck yeah.
Are we gonna cut one of Kelsey, Laporta, or Mayer?
No,
Well, that's
we'll
what
just
I was
start.
talking about
There's
earlier.
2
Flex
flexes.
place, yeah.
We'll start
But-
them all.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
All right.
We don't necessarily want to carry 3 tight ends all year, but I don't think it's like.
I think we cut Mayer by week 3, but I still like the pick here, so might as well just
Okay.
take him. Maybe he's a good hit.
Yeah, I guess the counter to the argument I was even making too, and the same thing, Gretch, is like, I guess we're probably cutting these picks regardless, even if
Yeah.
it isn't a rookie, but it
Yeah.
just is harder to cut because you're like,
Right.
Mayer
Yeah.
could be good really down the stretch, but we probably will have to just have a short memory or or not get emotionally attached. I should say.
Right. And Mayer's easy enough because it's like if you can't beat out Austin Hooper, then like it's probably not happening. So
yeah.
Davis went from I love it when a plan comes together to we almost took Mayer tilting.
You took another running back. That's your 7th straight running back.
Davis was happy from the time it took for us to get from 1411 to 1503.
And
it was still not have any good running backs
that we took Michael Mayer that made him think, oh, damn it, we should have taken him.
I don't know.
What running backs are you taking? They don't even have upside. Davis, what does Gus Edwards do for this team? What does Devin Singletary do for this team? Like,
Picking Swift rattled them. God, I have I'm clearing my schedule to listen to this TakeCast podcast tomorrow.
But
yeah.
If you didn't know who was behind this team and you just looked at the board, I would just assume, oh shit, this is a fucking FFPC boomer. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
This is the team that reads about zero RB, thinks it sounds really cool, and then gets super scared.
You immediately panic.
Exactly right. This is a first time zero RB bill. I mean, if you're taking 7 straight running backs, you need to take scratch-offs. You don't take Jeff Wilson, Devin Singletary, and Gus Edwards on that build. Like, what is this?
I took Jamar Chase in the first, and my team sucks. Zero RB Cleary doesn't work.
Davis is out here plugging sports
Davis, you do not have to plug this stream. Like, I will listen to this stream.
Everyone's listening to this.
Like, I cannot wait to listen to this stream. If you're listening to our stream, turn it off and listen to their stream, and then come back and finish this stream, audio listeners.
Oh man,
we've spent this entire show just promoting their stream. That's no issue with that.
No one wants to break the seal at kicker and defense. It's starting to look pretty appealing to me, not gonna lie.
Oh no, I'm ready.
I also do think I do think it is fun. Like crank purple in this range too. I mean, like the running backs are just like decimated. Wide receiver minus a certain Cleveland guy that just popped up on Sacrilegious's Magic 8 Ball. I guess there's some wide receivers, I guess, that are vaguely interesting if you squint.
But yeah, I mean, also as we pivot out of best ball, we got to remember that, I need to remind myself right now that we can just be done at running back. Like we could keep taking scratch offs, but we don't need to. I mean, we can just.
Well, and those are the quickest cuts, right? When we're going and they're like, this guy's the RB3, like we can't sit on this.
I guess Sacrilegious added the guy to the queue.
Cedric Tillman, huh?
I added him. I was hoping I'd get a better reaction. I added David Bell to the queue just to fuck around.
Oh wow.
David Bell's getting hot, right?
I do think some Bills wide. I mean, the bid equity of taking Khalil Shakur is pretty good.
It is.
Is Michael Gallup available?
He is.
He's been available,
Yeah. All the homies hate Michael Gallup, apparently.
Do you just take him at a certain point or no?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess your thing is, right, if you're saying hey, Mims and Flowers, slow starts, then all of a sudden your wide receiver depth early is pretty. But I think that's
what I was looking at because of the rookies. Do we?
Here's the thing about Gallup, right? I could see us being excited to pick him up for 120 fab. So what round does that? This is not a rhetorical question. What round does that make him worth?
That's exactly how I'm thinking about it. Does that make him worth a 16th round pick? Because
probably right after Justin Tucker is what it makes him worth.
Yeah.
The other thing is guy where we get early information on. Like, we know kind of straight away, like, what the Cowboys offense looks like what his snap rate, what his route and snap rate sort of look like.
I mean, that wide receiver room is like nothing behind CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Like, he's going to be out there.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter now, but
that's absolutely true. He's going to run plenty of routes, but he went. Tucker goes. Oh,
wow, dude! I was so ready to roll the clip on.
I was
Tucker.
pretty excited to roll the clip. Deneric Prince went, and now he was someone I was going to float on this turn. It's just like pure rip it, just like hope to hit something big, you know.
Yeah, are any of you guys in the kicker and defensive lab here? Who's our take a peek team? Detroit and KC.
I think I would circle back on Pete's Ty Chandler take, where again I know that the camp news is really, really bad in early August, but camp news can change in 4 or 5 weeks before the season starts. They might sign somebody as well. Like I don't think he's in a great spot, but easy cut, right?
I mean, Sacrilegious can't do, Chekhov's Cleveland wide receiver who happens to be here and not give this take, because I'm ready for it.
Oh, I think that Cedric Tillman is probably a better football player than Jalen Hyatt. I mean, I'm not a qualified.
Wait, it is actually Tillman? I thought it was DPJ.
No, it's Tillman.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was not sure.
I wasn't sure either.
No,
There's a rookie wide receiver who goes way earlier, or at least on Underdog, that's still available. Do you guys have any interest in Jaden Reed?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
He's another guy, too, where it's like we keep stacking these rookies, but at least like you're going to get pretty good information from Reed, right? Like, is he out there in two wide receiver sets?
Yeah. Are the Packers a team we care to be invested in? That's another big piece of information.
Yeah. Does anything else screaming at people other than Jane Reed? And I do still like Ty Chandler for the same reasons Gretsch kind of was piggy circling back to.
That's the only guy that I'm seeing. Yeah.
But we'd like another wide receiver, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
He's already won the slot role, right? Like we're hearing he's going to play.
Yeah. So now it's a question.
They have a super young receiver room. They have like 12 or 13 guys, and they're all 2022 or 2023 guys. They're all first or second year NFL players. Mm-hmm. It's insane. They don't have a single receiver in their entire roster. Like Dobbs and Watson as second year guys are the elder statesmen. So anyway, Reed winning the role and like legit playing every down right away is a lot more probable in an offense that doesn't have any veterans to kind of block that.
And the Watson stuff is super small sample size as well. Like when they talk about second year models, like your college production on your profile is still a huge input. So even though he had those big games, he could still like not be good.
I love the way you put that. That's a great way. Like I get asked about Watson a lot because I'm like unsure, and that's the right way to say it.
Why couldn't he beat Chase Claypool? Right? Like
yeah.
Right.
The chat just absolutely hammered us for taking him over Musgrave, and then realized that Musgrave had
he already went. Yeah, I actually prefer JSN over Jalen Reed, like in a vacuum. Like if you're gonna make me choose,
I slightly prefer Jamar Chase over Jaden Reed.
Like, Dallas defense to the Dirty Boys.
All right.
Are they just waving the white flag a wide receiver?
that was such a Davis pick. I can't wait for that moment either. Oh, so good.
If we take Khalil Shakir here, they have no wide receivers that they're happy with.
If this pick isn't Shakir, we've all been.
What I like is that Davis is hearing that we are challenging him to take Shakir, but he's not relaying it to Liam right now.
Yeah, can we get an update on Davis in the chat, please? All right, they go Hunter.
They took Henry. See, he didn't clue in.
They didn't take the bait.
They have not taken a receiver for 12 rounds.
Is Baltimore defense supposed to be good this year? People were talking about Tyler Bass. Trey McBride, if you want to crank purple, is honestly kind of fun.
Yeah. I would float Kyron as
or
just a pure,
Gesicki, another like take a peek, like what is his actual role in this offense?
or Conklin. Conklin's a starting tight end.
But we don't.
You got
Okay.
Drico, you're the tight end
Just to
whisperer.
just to bet on the offense, see what we got. I don't know.
I think we're done at tight end, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Where do you guys
I like Drico's chat comment. Oh, is that late? That's for later? Okay. Sorry.
10 seconds, guys.
Tillman.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
Tillman.
Yeah.
All right, let me.
I won't say no to Tillman.
You guys are really testing my nimble fingers on FFPC, but we did get it in there. I don't think.
Oh, we're definitely cutting him right away. He's not good, but I like the take.
He's gotten some reps with the ones. I think he's probably someone we cut pretty quickly, but I wouldn't be shocked if we were like, oh shit.
I'll leave a light on for him.
Yeah. I mean, you brought him up like 12 rounds ago. We gotta give you that guy.
Davis, the guy who just took Dallas defense is the third defense off the board. Doesn't get to needle us about Cedric Tillman. That's not how this works.
He definitely does more than Gus Edwards does for Team 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. It looks like you are resigned to streaming kickers for us this week.
Yeah.
Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Stephanie, who's going to be leading up our main event and managed waivers, as well as for our NFFC teams as well. Stephanie's going to crush it. Excited to
literally making this possible. Stephanie is making all of this possible.
Yes.
Otherwise, you guys would have just gotten a bunch of best ball streams. That's,
Yeah, this would be a BBM right now.
Team 2 has 4 wide receivers. I guess we can't see the one at the top, but it does feel like that.
Like, you do need more than 5 wide receivers through 18 rounds, right? Or 17 rounds.
I don't know.
Like
I
that.
think Liam was crunching some of his vibes-based sims and said you didn't really.
Those are called daydreams.
I was in the vibes-based solver earlier, and it said 9 straight running backs in a row were optimal.
It said, "Dude, that would be sick."
All right, Draco, put this guy you're talking about in the chat or in the queue.
Yeah.
Normally I don't. I feel like we have how many people? Everyone won't reveal themselves. We know the Go Bills crew's watching. We know the 2 holes watching. I feel like there's 1 or 2 other teams in this draft who are watching. Reveal yourself. You have to reveal yourself in the chat if you're one of these teams.
Do you think, Drico? Do you think Team 5 is watching?
I gotta feel like
Actually, I just researched who the Lions kicker is. The first article is
Team 5.
the first article is the Detroit Lions have a 3-man kicking competition.
Nice.
So that plan is dead.
We need to get it to team kicker here. Is what we need to do.
The vibes are bad.
All right, Davis just telling us who the 4-for-4 kicker rankings and defense rankings are like.
That used to be our move.
I know. He just big timed us.
You did. Back when we were young and hungry.
Team 2, what the fuck? Too many nose nachos.
Too many nose nachos. Oh my goodness.
You know what that means?
Those guys all skiing the slopes over there while drafting a team would be a great turn of events.
I'm pulling up the FFPC ranks.
We got 3 more picks.
I kind of like the Detroit thing even more. You get to take a look and then you can cut him. Not even more, but like it still can be done with just their most likely kicker. You have to draft 2 kickers to do that, correct?
Yes. Well, no, there's a waiver run. There's a waiver run before, so you could swap it out.
There's a waiver run on Sunday? Are you sure about that? I don't think there is.
For teams drafted like this, there's a waiver run. Like when we draft in Vegas, there's not a waiver run.
But isn't the waiver run before the Thursday night game?
We can't cut him. We'd have to cut someone else. maybe is
Exactly.
what it
cut
is.
him after Thursday.
He
right.
walks.
That's right. Yeah, we could cut a guy and then
We'd have to carry two. But
Yeah.
we,
We'd have to carry two
we
by
could
Thursday.
wait. Yeah.
We could wait.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it does look like, I mean, Riley Patterson is there. I'm only seeing two on their depth chart. They have Riley Patterson and someone named Parker Romo, who looks like a UDFA. And Patterson has kicked in the league for the Jaguars the last couple of years. But
They did trade a conditional 6th-round pick for him.
yeah, it seems like Patterson's like the likely answer, right?
Jim pointing out there's 2 waiver runs per week. That is true, but we're talking preseason.
Yeah.
Well, John Parker Romo was from the XFL or something. Ooh, that actually makes me less excited because what if he was just balling in the XFL? What if he was like the best kicker in the XFL?
Falling at kicking.
What if he made every kick?
You playing with XFL stats right now?
I am, yeah. He had 17 made field goals out of 19 attempted. So, I mean, it was just like, it's pretty good.
All right, let's see how Paulson has it ranked.
Paulson better be grinding.
Paulson is ranked 2 Detroit kickers. He's got Riley Patterson at 30 and John Parker Romo at 34. He's hedging. Paulson.
Interesting. Yeah, it feels like a real. Oh, they want me to pound the table for that bass song. Oh yeah.
No, that demonetized our stream.
We can't play that anymore.
No, it wasn't even demonetized. I don't give a shit about that. It removed the stream full outright. It wasn't until I muted the song that we got the stream back up. Full
And
on
why?
mute the entire stream.
Why did that happen?
European record labels are vicious, man.
Pete, I like Pete's idea in chat at this point is sort of my lean. I don't know. What else you guys, anybody? Sacrilegious? Draco, what do you guys want to do here?
I'm down for that.
That
I'll
sounds
float
good to me.
the KC defense there. Get to take a peek and we can take a
Let's take a peek. But
Yeah,
why,
they're going to force the Lions to throw on them a bunch. Jared Goff's good for at least 2 pick sixes. That'll be great.
They're a good defense too, right?
Yeah, we might hold them.
Like they get pressure, they get picks.
There's not a lot of points against in this format. The fact that you get a lot of pass attempts against you makes them very viable every year. I mean, yeah, I love it.
why not take like a one last dart throw and then use that waiver wire run though, as opposed to taking 2 Ds?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I like that. Yeah, that's smart.
Ooh, Malik Davis.
I've got
Aren't you guys
I've got
worried
a name.
about Rico Dowdle?
They could say Ronald Jones, but no, we are.
Well, they didn't have enough running backs before, so they needed
Want to talk about having a bad start to camp?
Yeah, that's not
Now,
good.
there's a
Kind of
guy.
repeat these. Here's the
Are
thing,
they
though.
really going to
Here's
come
what
out
I'm
of this
saying.
draft with only 5 wide receivers?
I'm pretty sure they are. I can't really see them pulling a wide receiver out of their hat at this point.
They're still taking running backs?
I mean, Justin Shorter is still available.
Who, dude, if Deontay Hardy isn't one of these next 2 picks, to either go Bills or Liam, I'll be severely, or Trent Sherfield. There's the Latavius Murray pick. Where do these guys get their ideas? Where do they get their ideas?
Gesicki never did go, huh? He used to go in like the 13th round.
I was going to actually float Tyler there.
I would have been for him.
Here's a kind of just a scratch off was Travion Williams. He's got a mild ankle
Didn't
sprain.
he get
Might
hurt?
be he's got a mild ankle sprain was the report. And he might
Dude,
be,
I'm totally in. There's one of the legal guys on Twitter I was just seeing during the draft is saying that he read the Mixon civil suit and it's like really bad.
Yeah, it does sound bad.
So, maybe we
Let's
hit a
take
home run
Travion
and thought
Williams.
he's the guy we cut.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Come on
I love
down.
that.
So guys, now that we've gotten everything out of the way, it is, time to get our minds right.
Kicker Chasing. It's the show where we chase the best kickers. The kickers that help you win championships. The biggest legs, the breaking news. It's everything you've come to love and know. The time is now for Kicker Chasing. Let's get some fucking kickers. Oh, yeah!
Oh yeah, guys, let's get a kicker.
I thought you were gonna play Ave Maria.
It's
I
just
mean,
amazing to
I-
hear you, because you're doing that, and then it comes back to you, and you're like, oh yeah,
love you and stuff.
This is I'm wrapping up my 7th hour of broadcasting today. I'm losing steam. Yeah,
I don't know
Rico-
how you do that.
Rico pieced
Yeah,
out.
that's
I can't even get up for an hour. Part of my Akers and Damian Harris hype was I had to drink some coffee before the stream, and I don't usually drink night coffee, and it got me jazzed.
Ooh, night
Like,
coffee. Yeah, I haven't done
yeah.
that in a long time.
Got me.
Probably because I
Took a nap like an hour before we went live. You're out here streaming 7 hours in a row. I don't know how you keep your
You
energy.
took a nap?
Crazy.
Jeez.
I did.
Drinking coffee and taking naps. I need to become a fantasy analyst when I grow up.
I did it backwards. I did that backwards. The nap first, then the coffee.
I had a different evening where I went out to dinner, had a lovely dinner, went and got some groceries, looked at my phone, was like, I think we start earlier tonight than usual. And so I checked when, oh, yeah, we're starting at 8:55. It was 8:51. I was like, babe, I'm sprinting home. See you later. I was like, Murphy. Ran down the street with Murphy. He was trying to bite his leash. He was like, what's happening? When we got home, I got, I was here post the intro music, so we were good.
Yeah, you weren't there when we started the stream.
I
Right.
actually was.
We may have
We're
delayed the
not-
stream just so you could be on time, but
Well,
Yeah.
I was, because Pete was like, no one's backstage, and I was like, I'm right here. So I mean, I actually made it before we went live, but
We run a tight ship around here. The people get antsy when the show doesn't start on time.
I apologize to the people. But all in all, I feel like I nailed it.
Yeah, it worked. The run home was great.
It was
Did
fun.
anyone chase
Okay.
kickers?
No, I
Man,
just
remember
wanted to hear
Dicker?
Robin.
Dicker the kicker, guys. He's still kicking around.
All right, read me off some kickers, and I'll find it's 4-for-4's highest.
Yeah, I got you. Dicker the kicker just goes. Sniped. Jake Elliott, Greg
He's ranked
Joseph.
28th.
Cameron Dicker is?
Yeah, Jake Elliott's
these-
5th.
Can I ask a question? Are these full season rankings or week 1 kicker rankings?
Well, I don't think they have the week ones up.
I don't
Come
think
on,
there
Paulson.
are week one.
What are we paying you for over
I
there?
mean, it's August 9th. Like, Paulson has a life. Like, I don't think he did the
Yeah.
week 1 kicker rankings yet. Come on, give the guy a
I
break.
got the week 17 matchups memorized, and you can't get the week 1 kicker rankings out? I mean, come on, Paulson.
All right, Jake Elliott's 5th. Give me another one.
Greg Joseph, Brett Maher, Greg Zerline, Riley Patterson.
Greg Joseph's 8th. Mayor is Brett Mayer. How the
This is the same process you guys have had for the entire length of ship chasing.
And
I
it's
just
worked,
want to it's
Brett Mayer's
all
32nd, dude. Don't float that shit. All right, who else?
The process has worked incredibly. Collectively, we've won $2 million on a site where there's no kickers.
We've not stopped the process.
Anyone want to pound the table? I mean,
I'll
I'm
give
old enough
Elliott.
to remember.
Is Elliott's kicking for the Eagles?
Elliott's 5th. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
Elliot.
is he still available? He's the Eagles
I don't know.
kicker.
I'm
I don't know.
running to the podium to windmill in Jake Elliott.
Smash that.
Yeah,
The Penny Elliott correlation.
Oh, my god.
dude,
Can
and it's
you
like
imagine?
I'm gonna be excited when Penny gets stuffed at the 1 on 3rd down. Because it's just like, actually, we need Goodell to get rid of this tush push while we're at it, and then Jake Elliott can come out of there. I'm worried about the tush push lowering Jake Elliott's ceiling this year. Just to be honest.
I actually have no idea who the Eagles play week 1.
Mm.
I
They
think
play
it's
the Patriots,
Patriots.
dude. It's a great kicking matchup.
Nope.
We did it,
Nope,
guys.
those guys took Riley Patterson. Uh-oh. When the two-time back-to-back defending champs take Riley Patterson.
We
makes
did
you
it.
question the process.
All right. Let's recap this team. We'll get some thoughts here from the crew. Quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Running backs, Deontay Foreman, Rashad Penny, Travion Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Roshan Johnson, and Kendre Miller. Our wide receivers, Zay Flowers, Marvin Mims, Jaden Reed, Cedric Tillman, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Olave, Drake London, Mike Evans. Tight ends, Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Michael Mayer, Jake Elliott at kicker, Kansas City team defense. Nice to get the 2 Super Bowl guys matched up there at the onesies. Let's start with Drico, FFPC thought leader. How did we do?
No, I think we did pretty well. We won't have any questions who we're starting quarterback, tight end. We might have some questions week 1 about running back, but we're either gonna have some really strong starters there, or it's not gonna work, and that's kind of how you want it. We have we've got all first or second year, pretty much all first or second year receivers, with Mike Evans providing the experience in the locker room, and then I guess our backup tight ends could foreseeably play well enough to be flex starters.
Beautiful. Sacrilegious, what's the thoughts? Obviously a winner because it has Cedric Tillman, but anything in addition to that?
Yeah, I mean, Cedric Tillman, just give us the $1 million right now. But no, I was really happy with how our running back shook out after starting. I think, how long did we punt it? Was it Dobbins in like the late 6th? Was it 7th? Late 6th?
Dobbins in the late 6th.
Yeah,
that feels pretty good. And then Penny just felt like an absolute slam dunk. Is Penny not going to steam up a ton after like the depth chart stuff that came out today, where Penny was likely going to be the lead back and Swift was satellite back role? Like, he's definitely steaming up more, right?
Yeah, he's
I
now
think
regularly like
Penny again. He might steam up. He's behind the best offensive line in the league, and he's really, really good.
Yes.
He also, the whole knock, right? Everyone bags on Penny because he just doesn't stay healthy. I mean, when we have kind of a weak running back room to get him at the start of the season, like he is definitely a fast start play as well, which is nice.
I like Tyler's sauce of Team 2. Team 2, love your QB, a little worried about your vibes and will to live.
Pen digging, recap Team 2 for the audio listeners. So their running backs, Tyler Algier, Devin Singletary, Deontay Foreman, Raheem Mostert, Jerome Ford, Kenneth Gainwell, Ezekiel Elliott, Jeff Wilson, Tajay Spears, Gus Edwards, Zamir White, Chuba. Oh, sorry, I was just reading the ADP list of all of them.
I was like, oh, they took Zeke? I missed that. I love on our team that we got 2 rookie running backs. I mean, not necessarily intentionally, but I do like the build where you get 2 rookie running backs, 2 rookie tight ends, 4 rookie receivers. We end up with 8 rookies that are all like sort of these scratch offs. They're all, I think, independently solid plays. It also, we were talking about the cutting and the roster clogging. It's going to be a little bit roster clogging. We're going to have to cut a couple of those guys, but I do think it's going to be something where, I mean, out of those 8, hopefully there's some clarity early.
Also, like Roschon and Foreman are directly competing, right, in a managed league. Like in best ball, maybe you feel a little bit better about having both, but we're cutting one of those guys almost certainly at some point.
But, yeah, for sure. I was just like, the fact that we're drafting on August 9th as well, like to get all those rookies, like there's a lot of time for them to make some noise here before the start of the year. I really like that element of it.
So one thing I'll say about our team is that Henry points out that Jake Elliott was 35th in points per game last season at kicker, which really makes me question his 5th ranking in 4for4's kicker ranking. So I don't know what's going on, but that was not all that fun to see.
He got the Deontay Johnson treatment on Twitter. Everyone was pointing out the positive kicking regression that Jake Elliott was due for this year, and so he's been kind of rocketing up ranks. All right,
yeah. You know what? I'm sorry for doubting 4for4's kicker ranks. I'm excited.
Yes,
he played 16 games and was 35th. So there was 2 kickers from multiple teams ahead of him.
Yeah, so a couple dudes came in and kicked their ass off, dude.
Wow. Did the Eagles go for 2 on every single possession last year?
I just clicked on it. He led the NFL in extra points with 51. I'm confused.
That's my guy. All right.
Well, extra points don't get you more than a point.
They don't.
Strong
full fact. Extra points not worth as much as field.
Well, I've always said that Jake Elliott's more of a take a peek play, and if we don't like what he's doing for the team, Stephanie's and in Sacrilegious's Magic 8 Ball are going to hook us up with a better option. I feel confident in that. Any other thoughts here on this team? I will say, like, the whole thing with the rookies and, you know, the roster spots too, like having that Kelsey Mahomes there to really solidify that starting lineup, I think really buys you a little bit of extra time than you'd normally have.
Henry also reminded us to set our KDS for the silver bullet, which we should definitely do.
It seems like a good thing.
Which I was not going to remember to do.
Yeah, I think that's a great call.
I think
Siri, set reminder.
there's real game theory into letting everyone else set theirs and you not setting yours.
I guess there. I don't know.
There is now, buddy. I should say just why we're here. So we do have our full schedule out for our streaming coming up here. So if you guys are watching for the first time, we are here every Wednesday evening, and we will be doing even some Thursday streams here. So let me pull up our schedule just to fill you guys in. So we just did tonight's draft. Next week, we do have the Silver Bullet, which we're definitely going to go set our KDS for right after this. Then next Thursday at 10 p.m., we're drafting a main event with Sean Siegel. That will be a ton of fun. The following Wednesday, we're doing our first NFFC primetime draft with the Buckeye Boomers, two of our buddies from the Ship Chasing Discord who we've drafted with on stream before. Then the draft, everyone is constantly hounding us for. Crack Rock, the Dalvin Cook, well-sourced Donald Trump reporter himself joining us for a main event draft. The ADP chasing guys will be doing an underdog high-stakes draft on that Monday show. Then we got a prime time with Matic, where we will hopefully be not having a hashtag bad time with him. Then on Tuesday, we're going to do a $2,500 super draft on NFFC with Mike Leone. And then we're off to Vegas to draft a main and a couple NFFC prime time. It's going to be a fun rest of the month of August here, guys.
Look at that schedule.
You guys,
it really feels like a sprint to Vegas now.
It does.
It does.
It really does. You guys, Ben and Peter, you already know this, but I've just been meaning to let the Ship Chasing people know. This is going to be an extra fun little Monday and Wednesday draft because it will be from a bare bones apartment here in Brooklyn because the movers will have come and taken all of my stuff as I move cross country to San Diego.
Woo!
So yeah, that's the big news. Moving to San Diego, guys. We're doing it.
This guy is he wins $2 million. He fucks off to California. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Pat actually they just got another 1 bedroom, and it's just like the Scrooge McDuck. He's just filling it with just $100 bills, and he's just gonna like jump into it in a diving board every single night.
Don't have an office still. Yeah, I will be working out of the living room. That's just.
Have we looked into the Wi-Fi situation? I mean, if there's one bonus of moving out of that godforsaken hellscape that is Brooklyn, like you got to have some better Wi-Fi, man.
So the Wi-Fi could be an issue to start because it's like included somehow. So I need to like make sure I can. Yeah, it's like the landlord covers the Wi-Fi, which I was like, that's pretty sweet.
Just like Spirit Airlines includes Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I don't know this.
You win $2 million and you can't own your own home. Like, come on here.
I've never lived in San Diego. I'm not gonna just go out and buy a house in San Diego. I'm renting. We're just gonna see it out, check it out. The house we found is really sweet though, so I'm excited.
Yeah, well, excited for you. I'm excited to have another excuse to go back out to San Diego, and I'm glad to hear that you aren't that you still plan to draft around your cross country move here as well.
Yeah, no, I'm staying in so the movers come here the 25th, and then we've got to draft the 28th and the 30th, and then the following day we fly out to San Diego. So the last couple drafts, I'll be here, but I'll be on a laptop. And I guess I'll do the webcam with that. Yeah, it'll be a wacky ass setup.
It's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
totally, completely bare bones, empty apartment.
Awesome. And also we gotta huddle Drico and Sacrilegious to figure out your guys' exact programming schedule. But I think it would be fun too if you guys wanted to do one, like preseason show to introduce yourself more to the channel, so we can talk about that because very much looking forward to you guys carrying the mantle. We've been very fortunate over the years to have some awesome ADP chasing shows, starting with Sam Hoppin, obviously Sam Sherman last year, Drico the mainstay here again, and now bringing on Sacrilegious. So love that show and super excited to have you guys doing it, and looking forward to all your work this year.
Yeah, the stat chasing pipeline normally evolves into people like taking full-time jobs or other jobs in fantasy, whereas I'm still doing stat chasing. But
that's the way we like it.
Come on, you now act like you're the God. Way to bring the energy down there.
No, I'm joking. Obviously, really enjoyed doing it last year. Sad to see Sam go. But even more excited that Sacrilegious is going to be my partner in crime. Really enjoyed what you've been doing, Sac. So excited to co-host with you.
Yeah,
And
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Can they expect some chart goodness from you?
I'm gonna do my best. It's big shoes to fill, man. I mean, my other biggest regret is I'm not named Sam to keep the trend of Sam's
That's true.
I know.
going forward. So that's a big shortcoming already, but I'm gonna do my best on the charts. So
Hang on. Let me fix this for you. So we do have your name up there, and I am allowed to go in and change it. There you go. Now you're Sam Religious. We're good. Now we're fine.
I love that Drico, you just called him Sack. Can you just refer to him as Sack all year? And then, I mean, you're Drico. It sounds kind of like Dick.
Beautiful. All right.
Drick and Sack.
Drick and Sack.
Also, if you guys want to hang out with us in the Discord, if you guys are YouTube members, you get access to that private Discord. All kinds of great fantasy talk going on in there throughout the day. Like I said, we will continue to have ADP chasing on Mondays, and then next week that Silver Bullet draft. It's a single entry contest on NFFC. I believe that one is full. So if you wanted to draft with us, that one's full. If you are interested in drafting with us, though, we do have a few of our prime times that I believe have some spots available. You can follow the link in the show notes down below, and you can register and draft with us, or just hit us up and I'll let you know the exact times and slots we're drafting if you want to compete with us. Otherwise, appreciate you guys all in the chat. There's nothing better than drafting season. Always fun starting to rip off these high stakes drafts. So for Pat, for Gretch, for Drico, for Sam Religious, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys next time.